Darkhand here. Working on the game. Guys, excuse my lighting. My videos have been very dark, so the lighting's gonna make everything like real dull and crazy. But anyways, we're still working on the game. I've come up with some changes in the way it's going to work. At first, I was doing a system that worked off note cards, and then it would read 2 note cards, and it would compile a drop menu on the 3rd line of the note card. So you would basically get an introduction to where you are in the game, and then a choice. Example, you're at the gate, go left or right. Drops the menu, go left or right. All seem great, except if you're doing this crusade with a whole bunch of people, not just yourself, how do you explain to the system to drop the menu to who or what, who's in charge, and who's making these decisions? So I thought, that's just going to lead to drama. It's honesty, so we don't want that. That's a really goofy way to sit on my chair. This thing scrolls through animations. So I've come up with that basically it will start out where you start out in your region. Here's the okay, I made a system. I also talked about some of the systems that I designed and made into it. So I was like, how the heck am I going to make it so some people get Dungeon Master and some people don't, and gets the menu, this, that. So we basically took the card reader that we were using to read the lines and make the menus that became cumbersome into an admin card. So you can just add UIDs, and when people are on the admin list, they get the menu with the Dungeon Master. Anyone else just gets that little HUD that it attaches. So let's go ahead and put a HUD on with this so I can explain it. So the HUD's changed too. I had the dice on it and all that. And it just, the more prims you add, the more scripts you add, the more it adds resources. And I didn't want this to get high in the resource. So we're still at, this will delete itself once I set the game up. For now it doesn't, because it's for testing. And this just does a short communication between who this person is and that. Now there's still a listening comm open between them. That is going to run through the sheet. The temporary just sets the character, then deletes itself, so we only have this one very small script, which is just a listener. And all the listener does is count down the health. And once it tells the game board, hey, the name of the character and their race is this, it disappears, and all of a sudden, all we need to do is be able to count down points. If you die within the crusade, the HUD pops itself off, you're out. Say you're playing with 10 people. You're out of the crusade, you have to wait, you can't get back in until they finish the whole layer. And basically what we have now is more of a system which is going to have a downfall to me, because I won't be able to make the easy note card modules that I wanted to make to add quests to the games. It's going to be a system that works through, as you proceed through the game, there's a numbering system. And what the numbering system will do, let me get that script up for you. As we go through the numbering system, as you go through the stages, basically the game tells it, I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it communicates with the script and says, I'm at 1, and it says, okay, what's 1? And it tells the image to rest on the card, which is that we're at Mordor, we're at the gates. So when we go into Mordor, this starts out and it's going to play. It says, alright, I'm in step 1. So I'm going to slowly, which we got to work on that resing of the card. We're going to res card that shows you're at the gates of Mordor. And as you enter Mordor as a Dungeon Master, now it has different places we can go. So we can go to the Black Gate. And now the knife goes, and I've found out the locations on the actual Middle Earth map where they are. And it gives a little picture. Now the Dungeon Master can start his story. And then you have several areas. So basically, I'm going to make each area have its own little crusade or of quest to, in the end, to get the crystal dragon, Red Crystal Dragon. My lighting's off, that's why it looks so horrible. This is a crystal dragon. And that's the whole idea of this, is it's 3 little quests built upon Middle Earth with my own story. Nothing to do with J.R. Tolkien. I'm just making stuff up as I'm going along. And I make it where you got to get this crystal dragon to stop something. I haven't even figured out the whole story yet. And that's how development works, right? We start step by step. So I know Mordor. I've got that taken care of. These are the 3 areas that I want to go into. I want to make it where there's a key hidden to get to a horn. What's hidden in here, and the horn will will call on a boat that will give us a ride out of the mountain through this river, out of Mordor, into here, over to Gondor. And then we're going to go into Gondor. And I had to come up with a system, though, because I want this to keep dropping this menu, but say something happens and their menu goes away. What I was noticing is before, when I click that, it would start back over. So back at Mordor. Normally when I click that, that restarts it. But I came up with a system that shows that if you're already in progress, you just pick up where you left off. So it's going to pick up where we left off, and it's not going to reset. And that took me a day or so to build. And a lot of my systems aren't really all the effects and the things. There is more build to just stop people from screwing up. Or the system from screwing up. And make it easier for everybody. Then I make systems that do effects, and part of the game you have to understand people just start clicking things randomly and it'll throw it off. So I had to make it safe proof, so if anyone clicked it, the only person that got the DM menu is the current DM that's logged in too. I didn't want someone else that was on that list to be able to steal the game from them, basically, because that's how drama starts. You'll have someone else who's in the middle, say 15 people are all playing. You'll have people all of a sudden that are on the list want to click something, and there's what everything looks like without the crazy lighting. It's going to get real dark in here on my video though. But anyways, so basically step by step we're opening different parts of the map for Dungeon Masters to craft. We're giving them an example. I'm also going to have a web page link that opens that they can see more of the story, and I can lay it out on a web page a lot easier. Here's the thing with Second Life. You start using too much text in chat and tags and too much text. It looks crappy. It looks like a bunch of shit. You don't want a whole bunch of garbage text everywhere. I see people make games, everybody's logged in. It's just overwhelming with all this text. So I wanted to use, my first idea was to use text, but I thought that's going to work horribly. So using simple images and pages on my website that will open up the story and the quest to each person. So it still can be played alone, or it can be played with a whole bunch of people. Sorry, I'm pausing. Just want to go through everything. So this is pretty much where I'm at. I've figured out where I'm going. I'm no longer going to use drop menus and text for the players. That's only going to be for the Dungeon Master. The players will be instructed when a battle comes on to which one. They all do their roll to see who attacks first. That's the next system I'm working on. I figured out how to separate how attacks should go and how everybody should roll and get their order and do their combat. And doing it in a manner so no one can accidentally click something while someone else is doing it and steal their roll or make their roll happen. So I had to make it where when that person's, basically when everybody does their roll to see who combats in order, then there's a system that will only acknowledge each person's click within order to roll a battle. So that way someone else can accidentally click it and take their combat roll. So that's the system I'm working on now, is how when you go into battle, how to make it idiot proof so other people can't see if people just sit there and click stuff while other people are playing. They don't give a fuck. And we want to make sure it doesn't affect the game. So basically, when everybody rolls for the order of combat, 1, 2, 3, 4 in order, it will only accept 1, 2, 3, 4 of the click of the dice to do the roll against the foe, the bad guy, because I have this whole system of creatures you can fight through rolls. So basically that's where I'm at in my head. I'm working through making sure people can't take other people's rolls. Also, people can't click things and affect the game while it's in progress. So those are kind of the things in Second Life you've really got to concentrate on. Countering bad people or bad reactions, or just curious people who just click things in the middle of anything. It has to be where the person next to me 3 lots over in another home on the sim could reach over here and click something while we're in the middle of something, And if it's set to just understand clicks of anyone that touches it, it's going to cause a problem. So right now, the whole main goal is not only the way of the lyrics, the things that go on, but how do I make this so other people can't fuck it up? Makes sense? I know. Bad way to talk. But anyways, that's this video. Here we are in the second level of the game. Thank you for watching.